To all the boys I loved before, who traveled in and out my door, I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the boys I loved before, to all the boys I once caressed. And may I say that I've helped the best for helping me to grow. I owe a lot, I know, to all the boys I loved before.
I'm Sarah here from Sarah Malo Tarot. So one of the biggest question that my clients always ask me, and also my girlfriends and also guy friends, is that when they start dating someone new or seeing someone new, they always text me, hey, I want to ask, right, I ngam with this zodiac sign or not? The good thing about being my friend is, right, I give you like free consultation and free advice. But, you know, just for everyone's convenience, let's start with the man first. So I'll dedicate this post to all the men I loved before. Just kidding, there's not that many. I'm quite boring and traditional, so I don't have that many boyfriends. But I mean, I've had many suitors. So this is like really based on my experience, like first and second date, like what can I roughly tell about their characteristic. So to everyone out there, is there a best zodiac sign or a worst zodiac sign? I'm gonna tell you that every sign, right, and every human being, they have their pros and their cons. It is like whether you can accept them for who they are, and like certain personality traits. So for example, some signs are more clingy and some signs are more aloof. So it depends on what you really like. So it's really on your preferences. But let's start first with Aries. So this video is about the good, the bad, and the evil of dating this sign. So the thing about Aries is, I actually love Aries men. So apart from being having very, very good Aries mentors, so I love working with them. What I love about dating an Aries man is that they are very, very direct and very action oriented. So most of them, they are really good in their careers because they are go-getters. So when they say something, they mean it. So it's like you don't really get like a you will definitely know what is on their mind, because when they want you, they want you. So it's like, if I want you means I want you. So he's very, very clear with his intentions. Also very, very straightforward. So if you want to know what an Aries guy is thinking, you just ask him. You'll be very, very straightforward and sometimes even blunt about it. So sometimes Aries, they can be too straightforward until they hurt your feelings. But for me personally, I love people who are straightforward. I love both men and women who are straightforward. And like all of my friends are very, very straightforward people. So that's what I love about Aries. The bad is they can be extremely impulsive. So I know a lot of Aries, right, they really do stupid stuff. They jump into relationships. They have like addiction issues. Some of them, not all of them. And they can say like stupid stuff and do stupid things without thinking and then regretting later. So the evil part is that they have a bit of a rolling eye. So, or you can say rolling eyes, because they are fire signs. So basically fire signs, they get bored very, very easily. So sometimes, I mean, they can like, start to rove and start to want attention from other people. And a lot of them are cheaters actually, but it really depends on their background. I won't say all of them, but a lot of them are cheaters. So be careful. I think Aries with very, very good foundation of family background, like from very, very close-knit family, or like not from like broken family where the father cheat on the mother or something like that. I think they are much more stable. But my experience with Aries is that the Aries guys that I actually like seriously dated an Aries before, and he's from a broken family and his dad is a cheater. So he is a bit of a like cheater also. So moving on, next is the Taurus sign. So the thing about Sorry, switch on the aircon. So the thing about like Taurus sign is that they are very, very hardworking men, extremely hardworking. So they are a good hardworking provider and a traditional family man. They are someone that is quite stable. They don't like that much of a change. So if you're a woman that is very, very exciting, that I am, I don't think you're suitable for a Taurus man, because they don't really like changes that much, and they're quite sad. They like repeating routine day after day after day after day, because they love stability. So the bad is that they are very, very stubborn and can be extremely controlling. So I have never dated a Taurus in my adult life, but when I was 16 years old, I had like a 1-month puppy love with a Taurus guy. So yes, it can be quite controlling. So it's either their way or the highway. And the evil part is that, okay, so I have a lot of Taurus guy friends and a lot of Taurus ex-bosses. So believe it or not, even though Taurus is a sign of Earth, the sign of stability, but I've seen many, in fact, it's like the number one sign that I've seen, right, cheating on their wife. And the saddest thing about it is that when they betray you, when they cheat on you, they actually never even feel bad about it. So that is a Taurus man. So next, Gemini. So Gemini men, they're usually extremely intelligent, extremely fun. So if you like personalities that are very, very intelligent, fun, bit adventurous, you can go for a Gemini man. So they're usually very communicative, very, very interesting to talk to. If you want to talk to them about like the craziest topic, like philosophy or things like that, it's very nice to chat with them. So I have a lot of good friends who are Gemini men, but been on like first dates with Gemini, but never seriously dated a Gemini. So like I say, they're intelligent and fun. So that is the good part about them. But the bad part about them, probably that is why I've never seriously dated a Gemini, is that they can be flaky and a bit flirtatious. So you're never sure whether they are just flirting with you or they're serious about you. So I find them like somehow cannot be depended on. Okay, so the evil part of it is that they are quite bipolar. Always hot and cold. You never know what they're thinking about, because they're a sign of a twin. So you can never understand them, and they can, in fact, they actually can never even understand themselves. So one day they will love you and they will hate you the next day. So that is a Gemini man. Cancer. The good part about Cancer men is that they are caring and loving. Quite romantic in a way, and when they like you, they are quite consistent with their affections. Cancer men usually make very good fathers, very responsible fathers, and very good husbands also, because Cancer usually they are a sign of a family, nurturing, and they love like being with family. So and usually Gemini men are usually mama's boy, but the thing is, I actually love mama's boy. All my ex-boyfriends are mama's boy, and both of my brothers are also mama's boy. So I love mama's boy actually. So yeah, but if you don't like men who are mama's boy, so I don't think Cancers are for you. But in general, Cancer, they are very good family men. On the bad side, however, they can be very emotional and very, very moody at times. So if you don't like people who are emotional, their mood swings can sometimes annoy you. So that is the bad part of a Cancer man. But the evil part is that they are always playing manipulative mind games. And so far, I've never seriously dated a Cancer man, but I've been out on like 1-2 dates with Cancer men. And it's like they will never say sorry to you. They try to manipulate you, but when they think, and then after that they will disappear for a while. They hide in their shell, and they will reappear when they know you're right, but they will never say sorry. And the thing is, right, Cancer men are very, very manipulative, but they are a lot of women that they can manipulate, but they can never ever manipulate an Aquarius woman. That is why, right, and a lot of my clients, even my grandparents, it's like a lot of Cancer and Aquarius always marry each other, even though they are like quite bad and toxic for each other, but they always marry each other because Cancer always bring out the loving side of an Aquarius, and because Cancer know that they can manipulate people, it always like surprise them when they cannot manipulate an Aquarius. That is why they somehow find Aquarians very, very fascinating. So yeah, so even though they know that it's their fault, they will never say sorry. So you're always the bad guy, they're always the victim, and it's always your fault and never their fault. So that is the evil side of a Cancer. Next is Leo. So for Leos, right, the good part is they are passionate and they are very, very generous men. They will treat you like a queen. The most romantic guy who have went after me was a Leo. In fact, until today, like 8 years later, he's still my very, 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 very good friend. But he's dating one of my good friend right now. It's a Cancer woman. So I mean, good for him. I'm happy for him because Leo men, they also love attention, but me myself, I'm an Aquarius, so I can be quite aloof and cold at times. So that is why we remain very, very good friends, because I know I could never be a good girlfriend for him, because of what he need from his sign. So the bad is that they do have a temper. They don't really show it to friends, but towards their lovers, they can sometimes have a temper. They sometimes can be demanding, and they can be a bit shallow. They care about their looks too much, even more than a woman, which I find a bit of a turn off. So most of the time, they are more good looking than their partner because they hate it when it's the other way around. So the evil part of them is that it's all always about them. If you don't worship them, it will greatly hurt their feelings. So Virgos, what I love about Virgo men, I've also never seriously dated a Virgo man, but I've got a lot of Virgo guy friends, and I've been on dates with Virgo men. They are very, very charming and also very, very attentive. So they always remember like what is your favorite food, whether you're allergic to prawns, which I'm allergic to prawns, and they always like remember like your favorite cuisine, your favorite flowers. They're very attentive, so it's quite sweet going out with them. They plan the dates very well, so I find that quite sweet. The bad part is that they can sometimes be judgmental, and they love to overthink. So Virgo men, a lot of Virgo men go after Aquarius women. It is because both of them match in terms of intellect, intent, and intelligence. But the thing about Virgo men is that they can sometimes overthink towards the point that they become quite negative. So yeah, that's the part that is quite annoying. And the evil part is that all Virgo men that I know, like 100%, I know have like addiction issues. So because even though usually Virgo men, right, they have like perfect resumes, just like Capricorn men, but deep down inside, right, when you get to know them better, they are actually a wreck. The reason why they have addiction issues is because they always like to portray a perfect image, but it actually stresses them out when they cannot portray that perfect image. So they get quite mentally disturbed, and in order to cope, they have to like use certain substances. So yeah, so far, all the Virgo men that I know, even though that they are quite sweet in a way, but all of them have addiction issues, and a lot of them are extremely educated and extremely smart. Next is Libra men. So Libra men are very romantic, and they also have very good taste. They usually dress very, very well. They are very charming and flamboyant, and they're also very, very romantic. So far, I've got a lot of very, very close Libra friends, but I've never seriously dated. When I say seriously dated means like boyfriend. I've never had like a serious boyfriend who's a Libra, but I've dated Libra men, and I have a lot of guy friends who are Libra men also. So the thing about Libra men, right, they love giving women presents. Like even on the first date itself, I've gotten presents from Libra men on first dates itself, which I find like so sweet. and very, very romantic. Yeah, so they're quite romantic, and they take you out on dates, right? It's all about the ambiance. So they always take you to places that it's very, very romantic, either like sky bars or places with like very, very good romantic music. They always take you to this kind of places. The bad part about them is that they can sometimes be indecisive. They cannot make a decision, which for me is a turn off because I like men to know what they want. And the evil part is that they always make stupid decisions because of peer pressure. And yeah, so my Libra guy friends, right? The thing is, so I don't want to be a know-it-all and I don't want to be like a smart aleck, but every time when I give them advice, they don't want to take it. And they want to take advice, right, from a group of like friends. So they get peer pressure. The thing is, right, they won't listen to an individual, but they will only listen, right, if it's like a group of friends and like pressuring them. Then they get pressured. So my Libra guy friend, the one that's like closest to me, he always listen, right, to his group of friends, even though those are like stupid advice. And even though I always give him like brilliant advice, right, he don't listen. That's why we always argue. And like a few weeks later, a few days later, a few weeks later, a few months later, he always like crawl back. He will never ever acknowledge his mistake. He will never ever say that he's wrong. But because I'm right, he always like crawl back. It's like, oh, how are you? And change the topic. But the thing is, it turns me off because he knows I'm always right, but he never like to listen and he always argue with me. So the thing is, like Libra men, right? I find that Libra men, they can be quite argumentative. Yeah, sometimes. And they can be a bit of a pervert also. They can be a bit humsum. Okay, Scorpio next up. So Scorpio men, both of my brothers are Scorpio. I've got a lot of good friends who are Scorpio, both men and women. So Scorpio men, right? Okay. So far the Scorpio guys that went after me, they are quite sexy. They are quite good looking and very, very intense in an extremely sexy way. So they will take your breath away, sometimes even like your soul away because they are so intense. Like they really like even the way they look at you, right? It's like, it's like deep into your soul and stealing your soul. It's like, oh, it's like really, really intense. But the bad thing is that it includes both of my brothers. They can easily get offended, and they are also very, very hard to figure out. Because Scorpio men, right? Whatever they are thinking, especially when they are in a bad mood or depressed, they really like go like hide in a cave or hide in a very, very deep hole, right, where you can never ever pull them out. So if you're married to one or dating one, you would understand what I'm saying about. So the thing about Scorpio is, right, like other signs who are usually like emotional and moody, probably like Cancer and like Pisces, you can pull them out of their shell or wherever they're hiding. But for Scorpio, right, they have to like climb out the hole themselves or like come out from the cave themselves. You can never pull them out of like depression. So yeah, that's quite hard to figure out. So Scorpio is also in the tarot world, it's also represented by the Death card. That is why I say the evil part of them is like, because you can never understand them, they would probably murder you in your sleep. Oops. Sagittarius. So usually Sagittarius and me are very like connected in a way, because Sagittarius and Aquarius, like both of them are so quite adventurous. But Sagittarius is like physically adventurous. They like to explore things. They like to travel. And Aquarians, right, they travel with their mind. They like to explore philosophy, like watch documentaries and things like that. But both of them are also very, very adventurous. So generally, like I gel with Sagittarius. In fact, I mean, I've only ever loved one person. Confession time. I've only ever loved one person, and he was a Sagittarius. So the good part about them is they are adventurous and they are very positive, but the terrible part about them is that they can be childish. They are the sign with Peter Pan syndrome, the boy who never grow up. And when they go crazy, they can really do like the most stupid and craziest thing, like binge drinking or shaving their head. Britney Spears is a Sagittarius, by the way, or piercing their tongue. Miley Cyrus is also a Sagittarius, piercing their tongue or having orgies like YOLO. Okay, my ex didn't have an orgy or whatever, but the thing is, right, he can like we gel so well. But when he's crazy, right, it's like I cannot stand him. So he was a very, very good boyfriend, extremely good boyfriend actually, and very, very good friend towards all his friends. But I could never see him as a husband or the father of my future children, because he's the boy that can never grow up. So moving on, next up is Capricorn. I have a lot of guy friends who are very close guy friends who are Capricorn. And I love Capricorn man. I've mentioned this in my IG stories like many, many times. I love Capricorn man. And in the past, I used to want to marry a Capricorn man. But we actually don't like vibe, we don't gel emotionally, because Capricorn usually like women who are more traditional, more stable in a way. It's not that I'm unstable or mentally unstable. It's just that I am always like, on to the next adventure. But Capricorn usually like women who are a bit more housewifey type. So the good thing about Capricorn is that they are calm, they are kind, and they are usually financially stable. That's why I love. They're always like, I've never seen them like very, very angry. I've never seen Capricorn men like very, very angry, very, very sad. Their emotions is always like that. So right now, while I'm studying for my PhD, right, my supervisor is a Capricorn man, and he's, other than, apart from being like the best in human communication in Malaysia, his like personality is like that. So it's like I really, really look forward to working with him, because he's just so calm. It's like studying is so stressful, but he calms me down. So I love like Capricorn men because of that. The bad part is that they sometimes be quite boring. All they do is like go to work, stay home, and then repeat. And but the evil part is that the Capricorn sign is represented by the tarot card, the devil, because Capricorn can sometimes have low self-esteem. Not sometimes, they do have low self-esteem. So this part of them, right, even though Capricorn and Virgo men, they usually have like perfect resume, they're usually very intelligent, perfect resume, very good in doing business and their career, but they deep down inside, right, they always feel that they are not good enough. So this is the part, right, where people who are close to them or lovers or family can see. Usually friends cannot see it. So that is why in the past, right, I used to think that, I want to marry a Capricorn man, because I've never seen that side of them. So they always think that they are not good enough, even though Capricorn men always have good careers, good education, and are usually good looking. They usually dress very well and very, very neatly, very, very clean cut. So that's the evil side of Capricorn. Last two. So Aquarius man. My first boyfriend is an Aquarius. So way back, right, when I was with my first boyfriend, I always thought I was a Pisces. Until I figured out, until I had my like birth chart calculated, that I realized that I'm also an Aquarius. So the good thing about Aquarius men, they make very, very good friends. So my first boyfriend was actually my very good friend first, before he became my boyfriend, which he should have never become my boyfriend. It was a relationship that was never supposed to happen. We should have like remained very, very good friends, because they are very, very good. They have very good PR skills, very, very good people skills, very, very talkative, very innovative. But the bad part about them is that they have bad temper. They're also very, very stubborn. The evil part about them is that they can sometimes be extremely cold and also very aloof. They can disappear at times, and you will not be sure if they truly love you. So that is Aquarius man. Actually, Aquarius woman is about the same, but because I'm a tarot reader right now, and I've been self-reflecting the past few years, I think I'm not as stubborn as before, and I'm much more loving right now. The last but not least is Pisces man. So my late father is a Pisces man. The good part about Pisces is that they are very, very sensitive towards other people's feelings and emotions, and they are also very, very sweet. But the bad part about them is that they can get easily hurt, and they always get bullied. Because Pisces men, right, they're very, very, very nice people. Sometimes, right, but there's always like a fine line between being nice and getting bullied, and they always get bullied, unfortunately. So what is the evil part about them is that they can let their emotions get the better of them and become negative, become very, very depressed, like wallow in self-pity. And sometimes, like some of them also become addicted to a certain substances so that they can cope with life and their emotions, and like cope with getting bullied by someone. Yeah, so in general, like Pisces men are very, very sweet and very nice and very very, very quite romantic also, but somehow they are just too nice. That is, there's a fine line between like being nice and being too nice, and unfortunately their bad side is like being too nice. So what do you think about like the zodiac signs? Like what zodiac sign are you dating or married to? So comment down below. Remember to like this video and also subscribe to my page.